Have you ever asked an AI a question, received a perfectly confident, detailed answer, only to realize later that it was completely made up? It's a strange, almost unsettling feeling. It's not just a simple error. In the tech world, we call it a hallucination. The system isn't just wrong, it is convincingly, brilliantly, and sometimes even charmingly wrong. You might have seen it invent legal cases, cite books that don't exist, or confidently rewrite historical dates. This is the great paradox of our new digital companions. They have access to nearly the sum of all human knowledge, yet they can still fail at the most basic facts. But why does this happen? Why does something so advanced lie to you so effectively and with such absolute certainty? Today, we aren't just going to point out the mistakes or laugh at the glitches. We are going to look deep under the hood to understand the prediction engine at the heart of modern AI. We'll explore why its greatest strength, its incredible creativity, is also its biggest structural weakness. Understanding this isn't just a technical curiosity, it's about learning how to actually trust and use this technology without being misled by it. Before we dive into the fascinating mechanics of digital deception, I want to say welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we explore the human side of our rapidly changing world, and it's a pleasure to have you. To get us started today, have you ever caught an AI in a blatant, undeniable lie? What did it tell you, and how did you find out? Let me know in the comments. I find your real-world examples incredibly helpful. To understand why AI hallucinates, we first have to dismantle a major myth. AI does not search for information like a digital library. It predicts information like a poet. And once you understand that simple distinction, the way you view every AI answer will change forever. To understand why an AI lies, you have to understand what it is actually doing when you type a prompt. Most of us imagine a very fast librarian running through aisles of data to find the right book. But in reality, it's more like a very advanced version of the autocomplete on your phone. It doesn't know that the capital of Norway is Oslo in the way you know it. Instead, it knows that statistically, after the words "the capital of Norway is," the most likely next word is Oslo. This is a large language model. It is a prediction engine built on patterns, not a database built on facts. It has read billions of pages of text, and from that, it has learned the rhythm of human language. It knows how a scientific paper is supposed to sound, how a legal contract is structured, and how a confident expert speaks. But here is the catch. Because it is focused on predicting the next likely word, it prioritizes sounding right over being right. When you ask it a question it doesn't have a clear answer for, the system doesn't hit a wall. It simply continues to predict. It looks for the words that usually follow that kind of question. If it can't find the truth, it will bridge the gap with something that sounds like the truth. It's like a person who is so eager to please that they would rather make up a story than admit they don't know the answer. This is where the hallucination begins. It isn't trying to deceive you, it's just doing exactly what it was designed to do. Keep the conversation going based on statistical probability. When it fails with total confidence, because it has learned that confidence is a key pattern in human expertise. If the AI is a prediction engine, then you are the director of that engine. But here is the problem. Most of us are accidentally directing it to lie. When we ask a question with a built-in assumption, we create a psychological pressure on the model to confirm our bias. For example, if you ask, "Why is this specific historical event so important?" even if that event never actually happened, the AI will often try to justify its importance rather than correcting you. It does this because it is trained to be helpful. In its vast sea of patterns, it sees that when a human asks why, they are usually looking for an explanation, not a rejection of the premise. So it builds a logical sounding bridge from your false question to a false answer. It weaves together fragments of real history, real names, and real dates to create a story that satisfies your request. This is a critical point to understand. The AI doesn't have a moral compass for the truth. It has a compass for relevance. If your prompt is specific, confident, or leading, the machine will prioritize matching your tone over checking the facts. It effectively mirrors your own energy. If you act like you know what you're talking about, the AI will act like it knows too, even if it's completely lost. We often blame the technology for being unreliable, but we forget that we are the ones providing the map. If the map we give it is flawed, the journey it takes us on will be a work of fiction. To get the truth, we have to learn how to ask questions that leave room for the machine to say, "I don't know." But in a world that values quick answers, "I don't know" is a pattern the machine has been taught to avoid. When an AI hallucinates a recipe or a bedtime story, the stakes are low. But we are now moving into an era where these systems are being used for legal research, medical advice, and financial planning. This is where the prediction engine hits the hard wall of reality. You may have heard of the lawyer who used an AI to write a legal brief, only to discover in court that every single case the system cited was a total fabrication. The AI didn't lie to be malicious. It simply predicted that a legal brief should contain citations, so it generated text that looked exactly like a citation. This highlights the most dangerous part of AI hallucinations. They are not obvious. They don't look like errors, they look like expertise. Because the machine is trained on the language of authority, it delivers falsehoods with the same calm, professional tone that it uses for the truth. In medicine, this can lead to confident misinterpretations of data that a human doctor would immediately spot as impossible. The system doesn't understand biology, it understands medical terminology. It can describe a symptom perfectly without understanding the life it is affecting. This is why the human-in-the-loop model we discussed previously is not just a suggestion, it is a necessity. We cannot outsource our responsibility to a system that prioritizes patterns over reality. As these tools become more integrated into our professional lives, our job isn't to trust them less, but to verify them more. We have to treat the AI like a brilliant but occasionally delusional intern. You listen to their ideas, you appreciate their speed, but you never, ever sign your name to their work without checking the facts yourself. In the next part, we will look at how you can build a workflow that catches these errors before they become problems. So, how do you navigate a world where your most powerful tool is also a world-class bullshitter? You don't stop using it, you change how you talk to it. The first rule of the AI detective is to never ask for a fact without asking for a source. Even if the AI still hallucinates the source, the act of searching for one often triggers a different prediction path in the model that leads to higher accuracy. It forces the engine to look for patterns associated with evidence rather than just patterns of conversation. Another powerful technique is what researchers call chain of thought prompting. Instead of asking for a final answer immediately, tell the AI to think step by step. By forcing the model to break a complex problem into smaller pieces, you make it much harder for it to skip over a logical error. You are essentially making the AI show its work, like a math student in school. When it has to explain its reasoning out loud, the hallucinations often become visible to the system itself, allowing it to correct course before it gives you the final result. You should also try cross-examination. If an answer feels too perfect or slightly off, copy that answer and start a new chat. Ask the AI to critique that specific text for factual errors. Because it is now looking for errors instead of trying to be helpful, it often becomes a ruthless fact-checker of its own previous work. We have to move away from being passive consumers of AI and become active editors. The goal isn't to find a machine that never lies, it's to become a user who is never fooled. In the final part of this video, we will look at why this skill is the most important one you can develop for the next decade. At the end of the day, the fact that AI can hallucinate isn't a reason to fear it. It's a reminder of why you are still the most important part of the equation. We are living through a transition where being a creator is becoming less valuable than being a curator. Anyone can generate 10,000 words with a single prompt, but it takes a human mind with lived experience and critical thinking to decide which of those words are true, which are meaningful, and which are worth sharing. The errors we see in AI today are a reflection of its nature. It is a mirror of our language, not a holder of our wisdom. Wisdom requires something a prediction engine will never have: a connection to the physical world and an understanding of consequences. When you learn to spot the hallucinations and guide the machine through its logic, you aren't just using a tool, you are developing the most important career skill of the 21st century. You are becoming the bridge between raw digital power and real-world truth. As we move forward, don't look for the perfect AI that never makes a mistake. Instead, look to become the person who knows how to handle those mistakes with confidence. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps a small channel like this reach more people who are trying to navigate this new world. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more calm, deep dives into the technology shaping our future. Thank you for spending these 16 minutes with me today. Remember, the machine provides the speed, but you provide the direction. Stay curious, stay critical, and I will see you in the next video.